I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hello, superwomen. Today we're going to explore the signs that indicate you've hit a pleasure threshold and how it might be holding you back from the joy, satisfaction, orgasms, connection that you truly deserve. Pleasure threshold is a phenomenon that I experience working with high achieving women and men. Supermen get this too. High achieving, people pleasing overgivers. A pleasure threshold is when we get to a point where we cannot tolerate any more good. We are full. If anything else good, pleasurable happens, we start to sabotage it. We start thinking, when is the other shoe going to drop? What's going to go wrong? We start being hyper vigilant. We start being ready for things to go wrong. So things start to go well. They start to go well with your health. You start sleeping, not waking up, sweating. You start losing the weight. Things are going well with your career. You got the promotion. You're hitting your targets. Things are going well in your relationship. And then we start to panic. There's this uncomfortability with what's going to go wrong. And we do this even in small ways. We take time off for ourselves, and then we feel guilty about the work that we didn't get done or the things that we could have done for our kids. So when things start to go really, really well, this is think of even a lottery winner. Like how many lottery winners are statistically broke a few years after they've won the lottery. It's like they cannot tolerate that level of good, that level of abundance having. It's almost more comfortable to stay below our pleasure threshold, to tell ourselves, this is good enough. Why can't I just be happy? I have so much to feel grateful for. We feel comfortable, superwomen, with our tanks empty or a quarter of a tank. Some of us have done the work and can stay comfortable at half a tank. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, your pleasure tank, please listen to episode number 117. So you know what I'm talking about. But we feel comfortable striving, not having, overgiving. That feels good. And then when too much is given to us, when the spotlight is on us, we can't receive it. So we fuck it up. We self-sabotage. And this is something that I've encountered frequently in my mentorship application calls, which is the various ways that superwomen, high achievers inadvertently keep themselves small. We keep ourselves surviving on crumbs or oh, I'm just going to have a little bit. We stay below the pleasure threshold where we feel safe. And we do this in sex too. When it starts to feel really, really good, we check out. We start thinking about the groceries we need, the emails we need to send, the face cream that we need to order, or we start making it about our partner's pleasure. We flip from receiving to giving. And it is impossible for a superwoman whose pleasure centers are turned off when we're in survival, fight or flight, to have maximum pleasure. We are stuck. We hit a pleasure ceiling. We're stuck at our pleasure threshold, which is why those of you that have been listening, that have been leaning in, I want to let you know there are 2 spots left for the Feminine Mentorship 2024. I want you to be honest. Have the wheels fallen off already? Have you had a meltdown to the point of tears or the point of fuck it, I'm giving up, that you just can't take it anymore, you can't continue anymore? and this is the confessions of more than one superwoman that I've spoken to this January, that already things are not as expected, not as you want them to go. You told yourself entering the new year, I'm going to prioritize myself. I'm going to prioritize my health. I'm going to start going for walks, start going to Pilates. I'm going to focus on myself instead of everyone else, and it's going to be amazing. The problem with this is it inevitably does not work for Superwoman. The I'm going to try harder solution. Self will is not a healing plan when it comes to pleasure and having more and busting through our pleasure thresholds. Because if that was the case, you're a bad bitch with a lot of self will. You can tolerate a lot, you can handle a lot. You would have done this already. Continuing to try to do it on your own or focusing on some small problem, like I'm going to change this with my diet. It worked 5 years ago. I'm going to take my supplements. I'm going to continue to go to specialists without answers. I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to happen because I have done this for long enough. It is going to be December of 2024 before you know it, and you will still be here or worse. Here or worse with your health, here or worse with your relationships, but you definitely will not have busted through your pleasure threshold. If you've been listening, if you know that this work is right for you, but you've been coming up with stories like, oh, great, I need to do this on top of everything else. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the room for another big priority. I get it. The 13 women that have already signed up are in that exact position. This program was designed for women like you in your position. All of the women that are joining us for the 2024 mentorship feel the same. The difference between them and you is that their December 2024 is going to look a hell of a lot different, more joyful, more energetic, more connected, more full of joy, pleasure, orgasms. The difference is that they said yes. They have support. They are already seeing changes, and we haven't even had our first official call yet. So if you feel called, if this speaks to you, and I also know that your black and white trauma brain is trying to pick at like the one or two things that don't apply with what I'm saying. Like, oh, well, my husband's supportive. So, like, even though the fact that 80% of this is on point must not be me, means I don't have to do this work. No. If 70% of what I say calls to you, you are going to see amazing, amazing results with joining me and the community of women in the feminine mentorship. Head to the link in the show notes and apply. Let's chat. Let's make sure this is for you. And if not, I'm going to tell you the right next step. But I do not want you here in December of 2024 feeling the same or worse. I will not stand for it. So, why do we have a pleasure threshold? The messages we received growing up: don't be greedy, don't push it, who do you think you are? Don't ask for too much. What will I have to give up when I have more love, pleasure, sex in my life? Or what's going to happen when I open Pandora's box? Pandora's box was a myth that the patriarchy planted in our brains to make us fear our sexuality and our power and our energy and our vitality. These messages we received are why we settle for being exhausted, overwhelmed, disconnected, and not as effective as we could be. Pandora's box is bullshit. It is a patriarchal construct. So, 5 signs that you have hit your pleasure threshold. Number 1, you are uncomfortable receiving. It is hard for you to accept things from others: time, attention, compliments, energy, resources, orgasms. We were talking at the feminine mentorship retreat, and one of the ladies, like, you know what? Now that I think about it, one orgasm is not enough. Like I like 3 or 4 during sex and one just doesn't feel like enough. Same girl. And out of that entire group, most of the women felt lucky to have had one orgasm. They didn't even know it was a possibility to have multiple. Like, I mean, they knew it was a possibility, but they didn't think it was a possibility for them. That is an example of a pleasure threshold. So, uncomfortable receiving. How many times does somebody go to ask you for help and you automatically are like, nope, I got it? I used to do this at the airport all the time. Men used to offer to take my suitcase to whatever, hold doors. And I'm like, nope, I'm good. Or like, I'd like walk ahead to get my own door. Like, what the fuck now? I happily receive their help. I feel good. They feel good. It is just it's a generating pleasure begets pleasure. We get more pleasure. Everyone feels good. Accepting help, taking time away from our responsibilities for rest, for fun, makes you feel guilty. It is so much easier. We are so much comfortable over giving our tanks empty or a quarter full. It's easier to overgive to everyone around us. We thank too much when people are nice to us. We apologize too often. I'm starting to see my daughter do this, and I know that it is me. If we apologize too much, we were blamed too much as children. Again, trauma response. Not able to receive. Not able to receive our good, not able to receive our good that is staring us right in the face half the time. So for those of you that do have supportive partners and like you're still burnt out and you still feel exhausted, overwhelmed, not like yourself because you have a receiving problem. Number 2, sign that you have a pleasure threshold. You care what other people think. You avoid conflict by people pleasing. You want people to see you in the best light. You have a visceral response when people are mad at you or disapprove of you. I am super guilty. You fawn. You have good girl conditioning from when we were little that if our caregivers disapproved of us, it meant withdrawal of love or we would not be cared for. Like this shit goes deep. It turned us into I'm going to rely on myself. I can do this all myself. And it is fucking lonely. We accept crumbs a lot of the time, or we're doing things for others that they can do themselves because we fear them leaving. It's kind of a form of control, which I will talk about in number 5. Or we keep our cape on, we keep our walls up. We're never fully letting people in, even if they are safe to do so. Like, nope, got this on my own. Number 3, we struggle to ask for help. It's so much easier to overgive. I want to tell you a little secret that when your tank is eventually half full, 3/4 full, it is so much easier to ask. Because if we are burnt out, it is easier to do things ourselves. We don't feel as responsible for others' emotions. We can say no. And it's so hard to face rejection when we're not good at asking when our tanks are empty. Because that thought that if you ask and you're let down, then not only do you have to like deal with the issue that you were asking about, you also have to deal with your emotions that you might have been rejected or not asking because we feel guilty. We feel like it makes us bad or wrong. This all equals a pleasure threshold. Number 4, we are envious of women in their pleasure. Women that look light, fun, feel like sunshine, embody their sexuality, intimidate or trigger you in some way. You judge them. You make up stories like, oh, must be easy for them. If you are having no sex, checkbox sex, performative sex, and not having the kind of sex that you daydream for days afterwards that make you feel that neurochemical high, we should not be judging these women. We should be asking or telling ourselves, I'll have what she's having. And number 5, control. We love to control. We love things done our way, the right way. Makes us feel safe, but it is a false sense of safety that completely disrupts the balance in relationships, boss, employee, parent, child, romantic partners. Unless you really love being the sub and cucking your man out all the time, like being the lead, the control, which you don't, or you would not be listening to this podcast, or at least not all the time, because what do super women truly desire? We want to be pursued, taken, ravished, let it all go, be devoured in pleasure. But we don't know how because when we hit a pleasure threshold, we numb, we check out, we overwork, we make lists in our heads, or we just find a way to mess up our good. If you would like for that to not be you, this is not your story. It doesn't have to be your story. Head down to the link in the show notes and apply for the feminine mentorship. 2 spots left. Would love for it to be you, and you know who you are. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.